60% of our planet is covered by ocean more than a mile deep. The deep is by far the largest of all the ocean habitats, and yet it's the least known. You need the very latest technology to explore this last frontier. As you descend, the light diminishes and pressures increase to dangerous levels. Within 1,000 meters, it's 100 times that on the surface, and only a handful of submersibles worldwide can dive any deeper.
You're flying around in this very small ball of air, glass bubble, zooming around, and it's just a wonderful feeling to think that the chances are excellent that no one else has ever seen anything you're looking at on that entire dive.
342, 700 feet.
We joined the Johnson Sea Link submersible from the Harbour Branch Oceanographic Institute to film a completely new community of animals that was only discovered in the 90s. This brine lake is surrounded by thousands of mussels, and there are extensive fields of tube worms nearby, all existing without the sun's energy. Filming was a real challenge.
Every single thing you do is done remotely, and you barely twist this knob and junk, the iris jerks, and and you see that kind of stuff. It's frustrating.
Beautiful close-up images of tube worms revealed for the very first time. These worms live 1,000 meters down, but we wanted to dive a lot deeper than that and had to use a far stronger submersible. This is Alvin, operated by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. It's a reinforced titanium tank with tiny windows which allows it to dive as deep as 3 miles. We joined Alvin on a number of different expeditions. This time, we were diving over a mile down into the San Diego Trench, about 40 miles off the Californian coast.
Rubber is scrubbing, tracking is on 12.5.
Crammed into the tiny sphere just 2 meters wide was the pilot, Chief Scientist Craig Smith, and once again our cameraman, Mike deGruy.
500 meters, 500.
Craig was keen to return to a particular location that he had visited on a previous expedition 18 months before.
I get a sonar target northeast at 60 meters.
The sonar found its target, the skeleton of a 40-ton grey whale. After a year and a half on the seabed, this was all that was left. But we first filmed it as a fresh carcass after just 6 weeks on the bottom. Originally, the dead whale had washed up on the coast of California. With Craig's advice, we had paid a local fisherman to drag it out to the San Diego Trench, where it was to be sunk. Easier said than done.
We put 5,000 pounds of weight on it, and it was still sticking about halfway out of the water. We stabbed it full of holes with flensing knives and a big spear that the first engineer made from the ship. He also shot it full of holes with his .45 automatic pistol. The gas coming out of it when you cut holes in it was really horrible.
But the hard work proved worthwhile. The carcass attracted an extraordinary variety of deep-sea scavengers.
Oh geez, he's right out here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Jesus.
Out of nowhere, a sleeper shark, a real deep-sea specialist, and never filmed at this depth before. These sharks and thousands of hagfish stripped the carcass bare, and this was all that was left 18 months later when we returned. Craig's main interest in returning was to collect pieces of bone to take them to the surface. For Mike, it was a further opportunity to film this eerie but fascinating spectacle.
It's amazing. It evolved. When we first got down there, it looked like no meat, all skeleton. Thought, oh, well, that's great, but big rib cages and hagfish moving through, totally picked clean, unbelievable. Then, as we settled in and started looking in detail, we saw mats of all of these worms sticking up, and then suddenly meat, hagfish grinding away. There's still meat on it a year and a half later. Unbelievable. It was great, and it looks terrific. Everything worked. I'm happy.
Craig was delighted to get so many specimens lifted to the surface, even if they were less than fragrant.
Work with them on deck. They do smell pretty bad.
On the surface, Craig could get a really close look at the life living on the bones. On a previous expedition, he found 178 species on one vertebra. There's a fascinating community of animals that seem to be able to survive in the darkness by breaking down the energy trapped in the whale's bones. What really fascinates Craig about the new species discovered on dead whales is that some are also found in one other special deep-sea habitat. Two miles down along the mid-oceanic ridges, extraordinary volcanic activity emerges out of the seabed in hydrothermal vents. Scientists were amazed to discover among these vents one of the richest oases of life in the deep ocean. Since they were first discovered, a new species has been revealed every 10 days. And what fascinates Craig is that some of these species are exactly the same as those found on his dead whales. Remarkably, Craig believes that his whale skeletons may be providing vital stepping stones of energy for larvae journeying to colonize a new vent. Like so much in the marine world, this science is breaking the frontiers of knowledge, and new discoveries are made every day. The satellite tags on the blue whales are still operating today, providing Bruce Mate with new information round the clock.
We've seen animals that were tagged on the same day go dramatically different directions. In the first several weeks, one went up to southern Oregon, one was down on the Baja coast, and one was 1,200 miles offshore. Some of those animals, 4 of them, have gone all the way down to the Costa Rican Dome, which is about 8 degrees north of the equator, and it's about 400 miles offshore.
Despite all the efforts of researchers worldwide, we still do not know where these giants go to breed. Like so much about our blue planet, it remains a mystery.
I don't know if we got that shot.
No, we'll get it again.
That's a
Get your
good
act
shot.
together. Go on, get your act together. How do producers can't get a
Hey.
staff.